What's up, everybody? 412 Sports Cards here today, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about deciding what cards to part with in your collection. That experience that one of my favorite podcasts over there, Stacking Slabs, they talk about when you find a new card on eBay, you find a new card at a card show, and you say, okay, I like this a lot, but we need to go digging in my card bin to see what I'm going to sell to fund it. That's the experience I'm talking about here. And I'm going to do a deeper dive into how that process goes for me, the three things on my mind as I go through that, and see if that can maybe help you guys through your process. So drop a like, drop a sub, let's get into it. First factor at play for me is replaceability. We've spent so much time curating our collections, we don't want to let go of our cards. But sometimes when you want to upgrade your collection, you have to. You have to trim the fat in the collection, trim where it makes sense as you move towards building a better collection, grabbing those big cards you really wanted. For me, the key element is replaceability. As I got caught up in consolidation in 2022, I sold cards that I regretted selling. I sold my Fleury PMG. We now have one back. You guys have seen that numerous times, so I don't feel the need to bring it out here. Sold the Giannis tie-dye courtside from 2019. Still miss that card, still want one back. And that means the Fleury was in my save searches for months after I sold it. Replaceability. I sold something that I enjoyed owning, but then I couldn't get it back. That was a big mistake. Same with that Giannis. But there can also be other mistakes. More something like this Andrew McCutchen auto. This is a super, super cool looking auto. Love it. Early Topps Tribute, 5 of 15. It's not that this card is the card that I've dreamed of owning. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But it's not like it was with that Giannis, where I'm like, all these other ones are so much worse, in my opinion, than that tie-dye. I really liked that one. This one I feel like is just, there's not a ton of replaceable similar cards, right? For me, the similar cards there aren't even that many. There aren't many early playing days on-card premium autos of Andrew McCutchen. He's signed a lot in his later years, but there aren't a lot of premium autos like this from his early days. I don't want to get rid of it for that reason. Replaceability. Next up is collectability. So sometimes you can replace a card, but we don't want it gone. Take a look at these two guys back here. This Jaron Mosaic Genesis, probably find that relatively easily. David Ortiz SP, find that about the same. But when I bought those cards, I bought them to enjoy them in my PC, or maybe I reminisce on the chase, or it helps me connect to my favorite player. I bought these cards for those reasons. I don't feel that those reasons have been exhausted yet. It's still time to keep them in my PC. Other examples, this 1954 Topps Hank Aaron. This is a big card, guys. Like dollar-wise, this is a big one, but I just really enjoy owning it. I don't want to get rid of it. There's tons of PSA 4s, right? They're all over the market. You could buy a lot of them. I could sell this, maybe buy a better copy back, but downgrade by a slightly worse copy. I just don't have interest. Unless I have to, don't want to let this one go. Enjoy collecting it. Same is true of this. I've seen these exact patch autos out of 75 floated on many an IG story for sale. They're not rare. They come up. They're out of 75, but they're around. You can get one relatively easily. That said, the quest for this exact card is a key part of my card experience, something that I'm proud of, and this card is one that I just really enjoy, and I'm really happy to own. These two cards are examples of stuff that, while I could go buy it back if I wanted to, these are the pinnacles of what I enjoy collecting. So why would I sell the pinnacle of what I enjoy collecting? They've stood the test of time in my PC. No point in getting rid of them. You just want to buy them back. And you could, but that doesn't make it worth it. Final part of this is value. This is the big part, right? We're trying to put dollars towards dollars to spend on other cards. It's tricky. On one hand, you want to get rid of the high dollar stuff. Say something like this. And you can knock out in big chunks the amount of money you need to raise. But you like to consolidate maybe, and it's likely that those bigger value cards are more important to you, hold a more pivotal role in your PC. Small ones might be appealing because maybe they're less important to your PC, but it's hard to chip away. It's hard to really reap big value. And sometimes the small ones, like this is smaller. This triple threads, triple base, like this is something that I really enjoy. And for for how much it costs, it just doesn't make sense for me to sell it, to put it towards something else. You gotta find, and also if you're talking smaller than this, like sub $5, it's just so much work. You get down, you get demoralized, you don't really want to do the work. It never works out. So I found that the sweet spot works, and it depends how much money you're trying to raise. It depends what kind of cards you already have to begin with. But for me, it's probably like that $100 to $300 range is where I can really start to chip away some big chunks, dig with a bigger shovel, and not have to part with cards that the dollar amount and how much they mean to me maybe doesn't line up quite right. So you're probably wondering what checks the boxes for me. We'll go through a couple, and I probably will actually be selling some of these. I just want to raise some funds to have for cards in the future. This McDavid, I mean, I'm looking at it right now on the camera. It's awesome. Look at the shine. It's super cool, but I could replace it. Does McDavid really have a place in my PC? Probably not, and the value makes complete sense to get rid of it. That said, it's a pretty awesome card, and someone would be lucky to have it. It's one of my nicer cards that I'd probably put for sale. Other stuff, and this is shocking, right? Because my collection is very curated, and yours probably is too. These cards are pretty nice cards, but my collection's starting to get, as time goes on, this process only gets harder and harder. This Malcolm patch is really sick, but I just upgraded to a limited logos with a beak patch. You'll probably see that soon. Does it have a place in my collection? I don't collect Malkin as much as I do Crosby. Do I need two big chunky patches? And then something like this Clemente. Dollar-wise, it makes sense. And I bought it to enjoy for my PC, but I just haven't enjoyed it as much as I thought I would. So all three of those kind of check the collectability, replaceability, and value. You can see for me a lot of it is driven by that collectability. This is hard to replace. These two are not. But you can see that the collectability really drives me even out of those three. When you're starting to talk about parting with stuff that's really hard to get or really important to you, replaceability becomes number one. But for the more fringe stuff, I think the collectability factor kind of reigns supreme. Replaceability overall is number one, but collection and value stuff matters a lot too. Anyways, that was kind of quick. Feel like I went a little fast, but I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more videos, maybe some mail days, who knows. And I'll catch y'all next time. See ya.